Hello, welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to explore a topic that is literally staring us in the face every single day, yet we almost completely ignore it when we talk about longevity. We obsess over our macros, we track our steps, and we swallow handfuls of supplements. But we rarely stop to think about how the photons hitting our eyes are actually programming our biology. I'm talking about light. Not just as something that helps us see, but as a drug that regulates aging and sleep, especially as we cross the age of 50. To help me unpack this, I have Dr. Lumen, a chronobiologist who specializes in how light interacts with human physiology. Doctor, thank you for being here.
It is a pleasure to be here. You used the word drug just now, and that is actually the perfect way to frame this. We need to stop thinking of light as just illumination.
Light is the primary time giver for the human body. It is the signal that tells your genes when to switch on and when to switch off. If you get the dosage wrong, too little in the morning or too much at night, the side effects are systemic dysfunction. That is a massive claim. Systemic dysfunction. I think most people assume that if they mess up their light exposure, they might just be a little groggy the next day. But you are suggesting it goes deeper than just feeling tired. Can we break down the mechanism? How does light actually talk to our biology?
Absolutely. It starts with the circadian rhythm. Now, most people hear that and think sleep cycle, but that is a gross oversimplification. Every single cell in your body has a clock.
Your liver has a clock, your heart has a clock, your skin has a clock. They all have different tasks to perform at specific times, but they need a conductor to keep them in sync. That conductor is located in the brain. It's a tiny cluster of neurons called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN. This is the master clock. And here is the crucial part. The SCN does not have a watch. It relies entirely on the eyes to know what time it is. So the SCN is sitting in the dark inside our skull, waiting for a telegram from the eyes? That seems like a fragile system, given how we live indoors nowadays.
It is incredibly fragile in the modern world. Here is the mechanics of it. You have special cells in your retina called iPRGCs, intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells.
These cells don't help you see shapes or colors. Their only job is to detect the intensity of light and send that data straight to the master clock. When bright light hits these cells, they scream to the brain, "Wake up! Start the engine!" If that signal doesn't come, say, because you are sitting in a dim kitchen drinking coffee, the master clock doesn't wind the other clocks. Your liver, your pancreas, and your gut are left in a state of confusion. That paints a chaotic picture. So let's talk about the morning. I've heard you mention the cortisol pulse. In the wellness world, cortisol is usually the villain. We are always trying to lower cortisol, but you are saying we actually want it? Why is morning sunlight so critical for this?
Context is everything. Chronic, low-grade cortisol all day is bad, but a sharp, high spike of cortisol first thing in the morning is essential. It is the go signal.
When sunlight hits those ganglion cells we discussed, the SCN triggers the adrenal glands to release cortisol. This clears out the fog of sleep, adenosine, and alerts the immune system to come online. It sets the rhythm for the whole day. Crucially, this morning spike sets a timer. It starts a countdown clock for the release of melatonin, which happens about 12 to 14 hours later. If you don't get the light early, you don't start the timer. So if I am struggling to fall asleep at 10 p.m., the problem might actually be that I didn't get outside at 7 a.m.? That is a disconnect for most people.
Precisely. You cannot fix sleep solely at night. Sleep preparation begins the moment you wake up. It is a biological seesaw. High cortisol in the morning pushes melatonin down.
As the day goes on, cortisol should drop, allowing melatonin to rise. But this brings us to the modern disaster, artificial light at night. We are breaking the seesaw. This is where we get into the eternal noon concept you write about. We live in a world that is brightly lit 24/7. What is happening to our cells when we scroll on our phones at 11 p.m.?
The screen emits a high concentration of blue spectrum light. To your ancient biology, blue light has only ever come from one source, the sun, directly overhead.
So when you look at an iPad at midnight, you are chemically tricking your SCN into believing it is 12 p.m. The master clock panics. It suppresses melatonin immediately. But it's worse than just no sleep. The body has different modes. Day mode is for hunting, gathering, and activity. It's catabolic. Night mode is for repair, autophagy, and memory consolidation. It's anabolic. By bathing in light at night, you keep the body in day mode. You never fully switch over to the repair crew. You are effectively accelerating aging because you are skipping the nightly maintenance. That is terrifying. It's like running a car engine without ever stopping to change the oil. Now, I want to pivot to the over 50 aspect of this. Why is this light exposure even more critical as we age?
This is the hidden variable. As we age, the physical structure of the eye changes. The lens, which is crystal clear when you are 20, starts to yellow and harden.
This yellowing acts like a blue light filter. It essentially puts sunglasses on you from the inside out. A 60-year-old receives significantly less light signal to the retina than a 20-year-old, even in the same environment. So, an older person sitting in a dim living room is essentially in the dark as far as their brain is concerned?
Exactly. This leads to what we call circadian dampening. The amplitude of the rhythm flattens. The highs aren't as high and the lows aren't as low.
This is why sleep fragmentation becomes so common after 50. The signal saying, "it is day," is weak, so the cortisol spike is weak. Consequently, the signal saying, "it is night," is also weak. The master clock loses its grip on the peripheral clocks. The liver starts processing energy at the wrong time. This metabolic confusion contributes to insulin resistance and weight gain, which we often wrongly attribute solely to slow metabolism. That completely reframes the middle age spread. It might be a light deficiency issue. Okay, we have scared everyone enough. We need solutions. If someone is listening to this and they are over 50 or just want to prevent aging, what are the actionable protocols? How do we fix the rhythm?
The first rule is the morning photon shower. Within 1 hour of waking up, you need to get outside. No windows, no sunglasses. Glass blocks a lot of the specific spectrum you need.
You need to view natural skylight for at least 10 to 20 minutes. If it is cloudy, you need 30 minutes because the light intensity, measured in lux, is much lower. You are looking for about 10,000 to 100,000 lux. For those over 50, be even more aggressive. You literally need more photons to penetrate that yellowing lens. Treat morning light like a prescription medication you cannot skip. I love that. Morning photon shower. What about the other end of the day? Most of us have to use screens for work or family connection.
We apply the sunset rule. Once the sun goes down outside, you must curate your environment inside. Dim the lights. The overhead lights are the worst because they mimic the angle of the sun.
Switch to floor lamps or table lamps. Think campfire lighting, low to the ground and warmer tones, reds and oranges. These wavelengths do not trigger the IPRGCs the same way blue light does. And yes, screen hygiene. If you must use screens, you have to mitigate the damage. Turn the brightness down to the absolute minimum. Use night shift mode, or better yet, wear blue light blocking glasses. But not just the clear ones. Those are for daytime digital eye strain. For circadian protection at night, you need the amber or red lenses that block 100% of the blue spectrum. It looks intense, but it protects your melatonin. It sounds like we need to become light architects of our own homes. Before we close, Dr. Lumen, is there a connection between light and our emotional state? We touched on mood earlier.
Huge connection. The same pathway that goes from the eye to the clock also branches off to the amygdala and the habenula, areas involved in mood and emotional regulation.
Light deprivation is a direct cause of mood destabilization. Think of seasonal affective disorder. But many people live in a state of indoor affective disorder year-round because they never see true daylight. Getting that morning light boosts serotonin production. It is nature's antidepressants. If you want to age well, you want to be happy and cognitively sharp, light provides the neurochemistry for both. That is a powerful note to end on. We are, quite literally, beings of light. Dr. Lumen, thank you for illuminating this hidden pillar of health. And for everyone listening, try the protocol for 1 week. Just 1 week. Get outside for coffee, dim the lights at dinner, see how your sleep and energy shift. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep discussions on longevity. See you in the next one.